Sean Taylor was one who I really wanted to mold my game after. Ed Reed, Bob Sanders, Brian Dawkins, those guys who I always watched. Although they would, terrorize my teams at times, they would. It was definitely fun watching them.
For a big hit by Nick Cross, but it goes out of bounds.
It's for one, it's just the ability to play at home, play for a team that I grew up rooting for.
I lived and died with Washington. Cried when they lost. My dad always told me save your tears for something more meaningful.
Here, Indiana move. We from Indiana move. We some Indiana move. I'm an Indiana move.
Touchdown! I-N-D-Y! And he lost the ball. There's a fumble. Who's got it? The officials say the Colts do.
Great team win, baby!
Lobs it way downfield, intercepted, coming forward and making the INT for the Colts in the back end. To see the Colts win Super Bowl.
Hey, win on three! 1, 2, 3, win!
What does it mean to be loyal? Loyal is faithful to any leader, party, or cause, or to any person or thing conceived as deserving fidelity, characterized by or showing faithfulness to commitments, vows, allegiance, obligations, etc. I wanted to talk a little bit about Nick Cross going to the Washington Commanders. Now, he was drafted by the Colts 4 years ago in the 3rd round, drafted as a very young player. His first 2 years, he only started 4 games. The last 2 years, he played a lot, got a lot of snaps, started every game, was top 5 in practically every statistical category: tackles, sacks, forcing fumbles, interceptions, tackle for a loss, quarterback pressures. He was doing practically everything on the defensive side of the ball. And he still decided to go to the Commanders for a 2-year, $14 million deal. And it kind of stuck with me. I was like, why would he take so little money? Why wouldn't the Colts match that money? Why wouldn't they overpay to keep Nick Cross? So I went and I listened to a few interviews that Nick Cross did with Washington social media teams and their media. Not only is he from Maryland, like he went to college in Maryland, he also went to high school in the DC area. There are old tweets of Nick Cross talking about the Washington Commanders, like a lot of them. Like he was deep in the trenches as a DC fan. He was a big fan of Sean Taylor. He was a big fan of Clinton Portis. And as a Miami Hurricanes fan, I kind of see the Sean Taylor influence in Nick Cross's game. And I always compared him to Bob Sanders, but Sean Taylor is also a great comparison for him. And you could see that he modeled his game after him. And you could see that he really values family. He really values where he's from. He values those people. He values that area. He values that team. And this is no shade. This is no shade to Nick Cross. I'm not mad at Nick Cross. I respect Nick Cross's decision. I respect the idea of you putting yourself and your needs first. But the NFL is a business. And it is Chris Ballard's job to close these deals. It is Chris Ballard's job to make sure that if he has to overpay to keep a player, a good young player, that you do that. Especially when you consider what the philosophy general managers should have with all of their players. Draft, develop, extend. We drafted Nick Cross at 21. We developed him for 2 years. He showed that he could be a potential Pro Bowl player, and now he's gone, and he's playing with someone else, and he's probably going to become a Pro Bowl player in Washington. You just look at the players that Chris Ballard has drafted, developed, and extended on defense. Grover Stewart, Zaire Franklin, Tyquan Lewis, Shaquille Leonard, Julian Blackmon. Those are all pretty good names, solid names, good to great players. Now let's look at the players that Chris Ballard drafted, developed, and did not extend. Anthony Walker, Malik Hooker, Bobby Okereke, Isaiah Rodgers, Rock Ya-Sin, Dio Adembo, Kwity Paye, Rodney Thomas, and now Nick Cross. Look at our current starting defense now. How many starters do we have on our defense that Chris Ballard drafted? Grover Stewart, Layatu Latu, and if you go by last year's training camp, Justin Wally, who we haven't seen play. So let's say 2 out of the 11 defensive starters are players that Chris Ballard has drafted. I don't know how good that is. And losing Nick Cross makes it a little bit tougher for Lou Anarumo to, I think, thrust a rookie linebacker into that Mike starting role, the green dot role. Because with the green dot, you're practically calling the plays on the field. Now, it would be a lot easier to call plays on the field as a rookie, and you wouldn't have so much on your plate if you had more veteran players that knew the system around you, especially someone like Nick Cross, who played closer to the line of scrimmage. So imagine, as a rookie Mike linebacker, you're wearing the green dot, you need to call the play. You need to call out the coverage or the protection, whatever. You could have Nick Cross, who is going into the second year of the system, Cam Bynum going into the second year of the system and is a Pro Bowl player, Sauce Gardner, who's an All-Pro player, Travarius Ward, another All-Pro player, DeForest Buckner, All-Pro player, Grover Stewart, a vet, Latu, a player that's going into the second year of the system. As a rookie linebacker, you don't feel like you have that much on your plate because you have other vets around you that know the system a lot better than you, and it gives you a little bit more time. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you guys something. About 90% of you guys that watch this video are not subscribed to the channel. Don't be a weirdo. Subscribe to the channel. Don't be part of the 90%. Be a part of the 10%. And let's get that 10% to 90%. So 90% of you guys that are watching are actually subscribed. That would help me out a lot. Cost you nothing. It's free and I'd appreciate it. We lost Nick Cross for 2 years, $14 million. We currently have $30 million in cap space. The idea that Chris Ballard would let another good player that we drafted and developed go to another team for so little money. We're talking $7 million a year. You couldn't go 2 years, $20 million for Nick Cross, for your starting safety that was top 5 in tackles, sacks, and turnovers. That wasn't worth it. We have to now bring in an undrafted free agent strong safety. We have to probably spend another draft pick at safety. And like I said, I don't want this to come off as I'm hating on Nick Cross or I don't respect his decision to leave. I do respect his decision to leave. I respect his decision to go and play in front of his hometown, in front of his family and friends, and play for a team that he grew up loving. If I was a professional football player and I had an opportunity to play for the Colts, I would kill for that opportunity, and I get that. But as the general manager, we all know the NFL is a business. So Chris Ballard should have treated it like a business and overpaid to keep the player that you found, drafted, and developed. Every Monday we're dropping Colts video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Go Colts.
Thanks for watching, babe. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel.
You made it this far. If you have not liked the video at this point, what are you waiting for? Just like the video. Hit the like button right now. I'm talking to you. Make sure you like the video and subscribe and drop a comment. All that stuff. This is a threat. Not a threat, a warning. But it could be a threat. Just do it.